This week's topic is sleep. Specifically, we're diving into how much sleep people typically need, how much they actually get, and why averages alone can't determine the right amount for each person. Sleep needs are personal. What works for one person may not work for another. Still, one thing is clear. Sleep is incredibly important. Can't skip it. Lack of sleep, poor sleep deprivation, is both a strange and very real phenomenon. And that's exactly what we're focusing on in this edition of The Safeguard. Sleep deprivation has many consequences. For one, it can make people more sensitive to pain. A 2010 study randomly assigned participants to receive either codeine or a placebo and also measured the quality of their sleep. The results showed that those who were more sleep-deprived experienced greater pain sensitivity. Additionally, codeine was found to be less effective in the sleep-deprived group. A 2012 study backed up these findings. Volunteers were assigned to either maintain regular sleep patterns or extend their sleep. Afterward, their pain sensitivity was tested, and once again, extended sleep was linked to reduced pain perception. These studies suggest that sleeping off pain might not be just a saying. It could have real scientific backing. Sleep loss also affects emotional empathy. A recent study divided participants into 3 groups. One group wasn't allowed to sleep at all. Another followed normal sleep patterns. And the third served as a daytime control group. All participants were tested for both direct and indirect empathy. Direct empathy reflects how we emotionally respond to others' experiences, for example, feeling sadness or anger on someone else's behalf. Indirect empathy includes physical reactions like a racing heart or feeling nauseous. The sleep-deprived group showed significantly reduced responses in both categories. Long-term studies on sleep deprivation are hard to conduct. You can ethically keep people from sleeping for extended periods to observe physical or mental breakdowns. However, many cohort studies show strong associations between sleep deprivation and chronic conditions like diabetes and obesity. While the exact direction of causation isn't always clear, the correlation is concerning. Research involving children is also challenging due to school obligations. Yet comparative studies do exist, and many indicate that children who don't get enough sleep are more likely to experience depression. One 2023 study of over 100 Korean adolescents found that those suffering from behaviorally induced insufficient sleep syndrome performed significantly worse in school. These findings align with previous studies, and they apply not just to adolescents, but also to middle schoolers, high schoolers, and college students. Sleep deprivation has serious academic consequences. For example, a 2003 study in the Journal of Sleep Research evaluated 50 college students after a night of normal sleep versus sleep deprivation. Unsurprisingly, the sleep-deprived students showed less motivation and effort in completing math tasks. Another 2010 study revealed that sleep-deprived female athletes had reduced self-confidence. Without enough rest, students and young people may struggle to push themselves and grow. There's growing concern that our society is setting teenagers up to fail. We know teens need more sleep, yet we often make them wake up at dawn. I go to the gym at 6:45 a.m. I already see high school students waiting for the bus, lest they go to bed by 9 p.m. It's almost impossible for them to get 9 to 10 hours of sleep. That's why organizations like the American Academy of Pediatrics have called for later school start times. There's no inherent reason schools need to start so early. In fact, more than 40% of high schools begin before 8 a.m. Studies show that when schools start later, students tend to get more sleep. Research from the University of Minnesota Center for Applied Research and Educational Improvement found that when classes began at 7:30 a.m., it's only about a third of students got at least 8 hours of sleep. But when schools started closer to 9 a.m., 2/3 reached that benchmark. The impact of sleep loss isn't just academic or emotional, it's also physical. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine reports that more than 880,000 people fall asleep behind the wheel every day in the U.S. Sleep-related accidents total over 250,000 per year. And around 20% of serious traffic injuries are linked to drowsiness. Alcohol only compounds the problem. Studies have shown that sleep-deprived astronauts, pilots, and physicians are all more prone to making serious mistakes. Because of this, regulations limit how many hours pilots and physicians in training can work without rest. When people are overworked and sleep-deprived, the risk of accidents increases and sometimes the consequences are fatal. Sleep deprivation isn't just an inconvenience, it has real dangerous effects.